All right, let's talk about how software stays up to date. I mean, how do different systems actually communicate with each other? Do they have to constantly ask, hey, you got anything new for me? How about now? Or do they just get a notification when something's ready? This one question brings us to two totally different ways of doing things, polling and webhooks. So let's figure out what they are and when you'd use one over the other.
You know, it's a lot like waiting for a package delivery. Are you the type of person who's glued to the tracking page, hitting refresh every 5 minutes, just over and over again? Or are you the type to just chill out and wait for that your package has been delivered notification to pop up on your phone? Believe it or not, that's the exact same choice developers have to make all the time.
Okay, to make this super clear, picture this. You're at a restaurant, you're absolutely starving. So every couple of minutes you flag down the waiter. Is my food ready yet? How about now? Anything? Oh man, you can feel how annoying and just wildly inefficient that would be, right? Well, that in a nutshell is our first concept, polling. So yeah, this whole is it ready yet method has a proper name in the tech world, and that's polling. It's a really active, kind of persistent strategy where one application is constantly bugging another one for updates. But as you're about to see, being that persistent, well, it comes at a cost. So let's get technical for just a second. Polling is when a client, that's you, our hungry customer, repeatedly pings a server, that's the restaurant's kitchen, at these set time intervals. It's just asking, over and over, got any new data for me? Or, is my burger ready yet? What this creates is this constant, repetitive loop. It's pretty simple, really. First, the client asks the server, anything new? Then, almost all the time, the server has to reply, nope, sorry, nothing yet. So the client waits for its little timer to go off, and then it starts the whole thing all over again. You can see how this endless cycle of questions can be a huge waste of time and energy.
And that wastefulness, it leads to some pretty big drawbacks. First off, you've got all those repeated requests. Most of them are just empty. They come back with nothing, just clogging up the network. This is super resource intensive, which costs money for both sides. And maybe the most frustrating part for the user, the updates are delayed. You only find out something changed when your next check-in happens, not in the moment it actually happens.
And that quote really nails it. Polling is basically like pestering someone for news when 99% of the time, there's absolutely nothing new to report. So, if that's the noisy, inefficient way to get information, what's the alternative?
Now let's talk about a much smarter, way more elegant solution, webhooks. This is the we'll call you approach. So instead of you bugging the waiter every 2 minutes, the restaurant just says, hey, give us your number, we'll send you a text from your table's ready. So much better, right?
The big idea here is push. With a webhook, the client gives the server a special web address, which is called a callback URL. Think of it just like giving the restaurant your phone number. Then, when a specific event happens, like your food is finally plated, the server immediately pushes that info out to your address. No asking necessary. And the flow for this is just so much cleaner. Step 1, the client just gives the server its callback URL. It's basically saying, hey server, if something happens, let me know right here. Step 2, an event happens. And step 3, the server instantly sends the data. It's a straight line, not a loop. It's simple, it's direct, and it's all driven by the event itself.
So, the advantages of webhooks are basically the exact opposite of polling's drawbacks. The delivery is push-based, which is crazy efficient because it gets rid of all those useless empty requests. This saves a ton of bandwidth and server resources. And because the notification gets sent the instant something happens, you get true, real-time updates, which, let's be honest, makes for a way better experience for everyone.
This simple sentence really captures the entire philosophy behind webhooks. I'll let you know when something happens. It's a proactive system. It's based on the idea that the server will just do its job and reach out when there's actually something worth talking about.
Okay, so we've looked at polling and we've looked at webhooks. Now, let's put them side by side, head to head, to really hammer home the differences.
So the fundamental difference, it all comes down to this. With polling, the client has to constantly pull data from the server. With webhooks, the server proactively pushes it. And that one little distinction has massive consequences. Polling is resource hungry, and its updates are always a bit late. Meanwhile, webhooks are lightweight, super efficient, and they give you that instant, real-time information.
All right, let's get practical. Knowing the difference is great, but how do you actually decide which one to use for your project? Because it's not really about which one is better overall, but which one is the right tool for the job you're trying to do.
Believe it or not, there are definitely times when polling is the smarter choice. Imagine you're trying to track the total number of users on a huge website where the count is changing every single second. If you sent a webhook for every single new user, you'd create a massive, overwhelming flood of notifications. In that case, just pulling for an update once a minute is way more practical and manageable.
But when you absolutely positively need to know something the moment it happens, webhooks are the clear winner. We're talking about things like getting a notification that a payment just went through, or seeing a new message pop up in a chat app, or getting an alert that your code finished deploying. In all those cases, real-time updates are everything, and the efficiency of webhooks makes them the perfect choice.
So the next time you get an instant notification on your phone, or you find yourself mashing the refresh button on a web page, you'll know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. Are you in the middle of a constant polling loop, or are you getting a smart notification from a webhook? Understanding that difference is absolutely crucial for building better, faster, and more efficient software.